Greetings, children. Welcome to the online classes. This is Aishwarya. Please like and subscribe the channel for the further updated videos. The following video is for class 6, subject General Science, chapter 8, Body Movements, part 2. Now, in the part 1 of this lesson, we learned about what are the different human bodies and its movements. Right? We tried an activity. We did two kinds of activity, and we understood about how the ball and socket joint work. Right? So let's continue. We are going to learn about hinge joints. Hinge. Hinge. Joints. Hinge joints. Open and close the door few times. Uh, uh, when you open and close the door for few times, you can see that it moves out and in, right? Observe the hinges of the doors carefully. They allow the door to move back and forth. These hinges that are present in all the doors. You can check any door, children. These hinges are present in all the doors. They help in the movement of the doors. Okay, so I request you to keep your textbooks with you. I'm reading out from page number 69. Follow the textbook with the videos. It'll be much easier. Okay. So there is one small activity, the activity 3. Let us look at the kind of movement allowed by a hinge. Make a cylinder with a cardboard or a thick chart paper as shown. Here, as shown in the picture, you can see, you just have to make a thin uh, cylindrical card cylinder from the cardboard. Okay, attach a small pencil to the cylinder by piercing the cylinder at one corner as shown. Make a hollow half cylinder from the cardboard such that the roller up rolled up cylinder can fit inside it easily. Okay, the smaller cylinder should fit easily. You have to keep it in such a way. The hollow half cylinder with the rolled up cylinder sits inside it, allows the movement like a hinge. Try to move the hollow up cylinder. How does it move? How is this movement different from what we saw with a construction ball and the socket joint? We saw this kind of movement in the elbow in activity 1. Right? This kind of movement is different from that of the ball and socket joint movement. Okay, what we have constructed in this activity is different from the hinge, of course, but it illustrates the direction in which a hinge allows movements. The elbow has a hinge joint that allows only a back and forth movement. Can you think of more examples of such joints? Here you can only move it back and forth. Okay, that kind of movement happens with such kind of joints. Okay, these joints are different from the the cylinder ball and socket joints, which are helping you to connect the legs to your hip, right? Next is fixed joint. Some joints between bones in our head are different from those we have discussed so far. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called fixed joints. These joints, it cannot move. Okay, you cannot move these joints. Now the hinge joint or the pivotal joint, these joints are help you to move, but the fixed joint, they don't help you to move. They are just fixed to each other. Okay, when you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move it? No, there is a joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head, which is a fixed joint. Now we discussed only some of the joints that connect parts of our body. What gives the different part of our body their different shapes? If you wanted to make a doll, what will you make first? Perhaps the framework to give the doll shape before making its outer structure, isn't it? All the bones in our body also form a framework to give a shape to our body. Now, that framework is called the skeleton. skeleton. The human skeleton is composed of around 305 bones at birth. The number of bones in the skeleton changes with age. It decreases to 206 bones by adulthood, after some bones have fused together. So this framework is called the skeleton. Here you can on your screen you can see the picture of the skeleton. How do we know that this is the shape of the human skeleton? How do we know the shape of different bones in our body? We can have some ideas about the shape and number of bones in some part of our body by feeling them. Okay. So what is a skeleton? It is the bones with the framework of our body. This framework, the framework, okay, the main basic, we are able to stand, sit, walk because of the skeleton. Skeleton is nothing but the framework of the bones. Okay, so one way we could know the shape better would be to look at an X-ray of the human body. X-ray of the human body. Now these X-rays, the rays cannot pass through the bone. It can pass through our muscles, but it cannot pass through our bones. So it helps us give a proper picture of the bone which is present inside. Okay, so the X-ray image of the human body. Did you or anyone in your family ever have an X-ray or any part of your body taken? Of any part of your body taken. Sometimes when we are hurt or have an accident, doctor use these X-ray images to find out about any possible injuries that might have happened to the bones. The X-ray shows the shape of the bone inside our body. Now, there are certain bones that we can feel in our hand. If you hold on to your fingers, you can, if you press it hard, you can feel the bones in it, right? But you cannot feel all the bones in your body. So these X-rays help us to see inside our body. Feel the bones in your forearms, upper arm, and lower leg and upper leg. Try to find the number of bones in each part. Similarly, feel the bones of your ankle and knee joint and compare these with the X-ray images. Okay, if you try to feel your ankles and your knees. Okay, now if you feel your ankles, you can feel how the fingers, the tips are bent, right? Yes. So bend your fingers. Now bend your fingers. Are you able to do it? Okay, we can bend it in different ways, isn't it? um, you can bend it at each and every joint. How many bones does your middle finger have? Feel the back of your palm. It seems to have many bones, isn't it? Your wrist is flexible. It is made up of several small bones called carpels. Carpels. Small bones in our wrist are called carpels. Wrist. Wrist are called carpels. Now, what will happen if it has only one bone? If the whole hand has one bone, what will happen? We cannot move it. We cannot hold anything. We cannot do any work. It will become very difficult. So, these carpals or the small bones help us in the movement of our hands, in the free movement of our hands. Next is a small activity, activity 4, page number 70. Take a deep breath and hold it in for a little while. Feel your chest bones and the backbone by gently pressing the middle of the chest and the back at the same time. Count as many ribs, the bones on your chest, okay, as possible. The bones on your chest are called ribs. Okay. Now, if you observe the picture that is given in your um, screen in the screen carefully and compare with that of what you feel with your chest bones, we can see that the ribs are curiously bent. They join the chest bones and the backbone together to form a box. Okay, it is like a covering. Okay, the it comes from the backbone and it is joined, it is fused in the front. Okay, this is because they give us protection for many internal organs, mainly our heart. Many internal organs are protected because of this rib cage only. They join the chest bone and the backbone together to form a box. This is called the rib cage. There are 12 ribs on each side of the chest. Some important internal parts of our body lie protected inside this cage. It looks like a cage, isn't it, children? Yes. Then ask some friends to touch their toes without bending their knees. Starting from the neck, move your fingers downwards on the back of your friend. What you feel in the back. Now, when your friend is bent in the front, if you touch the under their neck and if you just keep going downwards, you can feel the bone. That bone is nothing but the backbone. Now, this backbone, it is made up of many small bones called vertebrae. Vertebrae. The backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. The rib cage is joined to these bones. If backbone was made up of only one long bone, will your friend be able to bend? No. Make your friend stand with both hands pressed to the wall and ask her or him to push the wall. Do you notice that the bones in the back are prominent when in the shoulders? This is about the shoulder bones. When you try to push the wall, your shoulder bones becomes very prominent in the back side. Okay, when you move your hand back also, you can feel the shoulder bones. Okay, now if you observe the picture in your textbook carefully, that is made up of the pelvic bones. Now, this is the pelvic bone. Pelvic bone is nothing but your hip bone. They enclose the portions of your body below the stomach. This is the part you sit on. If you're sitting now, you'll be sitting on the pelvic bone. This bone is very, very important. It helps to keep our structure straight. Okay. Now you understood about the what is skeleton, that is the different bones attached which makes a framework, that is the skeleton. Then we learned about the bones of the hand, then the rib cage, backbone and pelvic bone. The remaining bones of the chapter we will learn in the next video. So stay at home, stay safe, take care of yourself, keep learning, children. Thank you.